This video is the fast track setup of payroll for a small nonprofit using the 990 Easy template in the People's Choice Accounting program. So once you open your People's Choice Accounting and select the Nonprofit Easy template, you go to create a new company. So you need a 4-letter code. We'll just go NP01. That's what we're going to assign the new company. So you click next. We do want to copy the bank accounts and the suppliers, but we'll click next. And you'll want to go ahead and copy the financial periods. And there is no blank our budget in the template right offhand, and you just want to use the current chart of accounts, which would be the 940 EZ. So you click finish. Once it's done linking, the default login password is user1, user1. And so you would go in here and enter in the name of your nonprofit organization. And the address, and if you're a nonprofit, you'll have had to apply for nonprofit status and be given a federal ID number, and whatever that number might be, you would go ahead and fill that in. And then you've done your basic setup of the accounting foundation for which the payroll is built on. Most users will like to use the classic menu. So you would go to Setup and go to Program Settings and say you want to use the standard one, and that'll open up this particular menu that most people like to use. But you do have your optional menu up here. So we'll assume you've already gone in and set up the bank account information and so forth. That's covered in another video. But when you go to set up payroll, you go into the payroll module, and that's going to load the payroll. So it will detect, it's going to select the payroll year. And you're going to be prompted to go through the wizard. So we're going to say yes. And so you can fill in your address, your ID number, put in the minimum wage, whatever it is in your particular state. You're going to, most people print in the middle, but you do have the different formats of checks. And then you choose how often you're going to pay. The most common right now is bi-weekly. Then you would click next. You decide which state that you're going to cover. And so you would go through the list. I'm in Iowa myself, so I'll just click Iowa, click add. But you can add any multiple states. Then you would click next. We don't have a local tax in Iowa, but if you had a local tax, you could put local tax in whatever city or county, what abbreviation you want to use on the pay stub, and what's the rate. 1.25%, 1% is the most common, and then if that's what it is, you would click add and that would get added. In Iowa there is no local tax, so we click next, but we do want to add the Iowa state income tax tables, and that adds it to all the templates, which is covered in another video. And then you would click next, and then whatever your rate is, you'll put in the amount and the rate. You can actually do this later, and it's something that normally has to be done every year. You'll get from the Iowa workforce and in other states, whatever manages your unemployment, they're going to give you your rate and what your limit is for that particular state. So you would add that to the template. Go next. And if you're going to have some standard deductions, those can be added to the template. The most common ones would be health insurance, or an employee pension plan, or a 401k, but you can have customized deductions, but we'll skip that for this particular. You can always go back later and add those. Same with if you're going to track vacation hours or sick hours or personal hours, you can select those. We're just going to track vacation hours. I'll just add that to the template. Click next. And here you would go through and fill out your information. So the accounts that assigned, they were all part of the 990 EZ template. The GL accounts for your liability and expenses are already in there, and we've gone through and assigned those from the 990 EZ template. So then you would click next and click finish, and you're ready to start entering in employees and preparing to do your first payroll in People's Choice Accounting. That's the quick fast track start to get the payroll, basic payroll set up in People's Choice Accounting payroll using the 990 EZ template chart of accounts that will fit most nonprofit organizations.